Kobe White had a good bounce back game versus the Charlotte Hornets. And Ayo Dosunmu 50, 40, 90 for the month of January? Crazy. And the Chicago Bulls are not planning on doing anything by the trade deadline. You know, we're going to talk about it, break it down. But you know, you got to hear the music first. Cognac. Gang. Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on another episode of Shy Bulls podcast. If you're tuning in with me today, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell as well. Now, Kobe White in that game prior to the Hornets. Oh my God. He did not have a very good game the other night. But yesterday versus the Charlotte Hornets, Kobe White came out and put on an absolute show and held it down for the most part for himself. 35 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists. My guy was doing pretty damn well last night. So big shout out to Kobe White. Wanted to show him some love before we get into the main topic of the day. And definitely just say, keep on doing what you're doing, Kobe White. It is exciting to see when Kobe White, a young player of ours, is developing and continuing to grow and putting that thing on wax so we can see how far he can go and what that ceiling will eventually look like for a guy named Kobe White. Now, Ayo Dosunmu has entered the chat as well. My man's Ayo Dosunmu. Ayo Dosunmu for the month of January has 50, 40, 90. What an outstanding feat to have for Ayo Dosunmu. That is crazy to have right now. A guy who you never would have think it would have came up for. I ain't gonna lie to you, but that was very, very impressive. Very, very impressive. I'm very, very impressed with my guy Ayo Dosunmu. Continue to do what you've been doing. Continue it. Let's continue to see if he could become a solid role player or even a little bit more. But hey, let me know your thoughts below on all those things discussed previously. But now let's get into the main topic. Just wanted to show some love before we go in and start snapping on the Chicago Bulls. But now it was reported by Darnell Mayberry of The Athletic that few within or around the Chicago Bulls organization anticipate the franchise making a major move. He further added on that most will be surprised if Chicago swings a trade before the deadline because despite the interest from around the league and multiple players, there's a prevailing belief that the front office won't commit to something substantial. Nonetheless, this is pretty much saying that the Chicago Bulls, nobody believes in them. Nobody believes in them to do anything, to go out here and make things correct for the organization, to pick a direction, to let us know where the hell are we going as an organization. Let us know. You got an old-ass center who Father Time is tapping him on the back with one finger. Like, you get certain games out of Nikola Vucevic, but the man feet is even slower, in my personal opinion. We seen guys last night in that Charlotte Hornets game to where people were just driving effortlessly to the basket on Nikola Vucevic. He's not a shot blocking threat. He doesn't have that athleticism that we once had. Can he still give you numbers? Of course he can still give you numbers. But what is the impact? Then you got a guy in DeMar DeRozan who we love. We love DeMar DeRozan. But let's keep it a buck. He's on an expiring contract. He's looking for a contract extension. You really want to pay this guy all that money? Do you really want to pay this guy all that money? Then you got a disgruntled star on your team who you paid $215 million to in Zach LaVine, and y'all don't even know what y'all want to do with him? You mean to tell me the bar is set so high that you can't get a deal done to further help your team? To me, it sounds like complete bullshit. That's just what it is. And I know it's early. I know y'all tuning in. But the Chicago Bulls not wanting to do anything with this team is bullshit. That's just flat out what it is. Since you put this team together, you got one playoff win to show for it. One. And a play-in appearance. Y'all think we're going to get excited for a play-in appearance for something that wasn't even in existence about 5 years ago? That's how we're going to roll? That's how we're going to accept being Chicago Bulls fans, Chicago? No way. No way. It's unacceptable. No way. This is the opportunities that the Bulls front office continue to miss. It has been stated on several occasions, that if they was the Chicago Bulls, I know a few people, if they were the Chicago Bulls, after that great year won by DeMar DeRozan, they would have traded him when his value was at an all-time high. Guess where his value is at now? Probably an all-time low. Alex Caruso, the Bulls, you're running out of time. You're trying to hold on to this valuable player, and he is valuable. He is Mr. Headband. I love Alex Caruso, but his value is at its highest right now. And your team has no direction on where the hell it wants to go. We have to make moves. We have to figure it out. It's really that simple. Figure it out. Pick a direction and go with the direction. That's all we asking for. Nobody is asking you to go out here and make a trade for Joel Embiid. Nobody is coming out here asking you to go for a trade and make good a trade for Giannis Antetokounmpo. But the big three that you have put together is mid and it's ass and it's stank. Dove soap can't help this stink. You can't help it. We have to figure out what the plan is. And the Chicago Bulls in his front office continues to play in our face. Continues to play in our face. Year one, Lonzo Ball gets hurt in January. There's no contingency plan for him. The team started to nosedive because the other guys started to get injured. The Bulls did nothing at the trade deadline. They got Tristan Thompson at the buyout market. Last year, rough start for the Chicago Bulls. Rough start. Then what happened? Oh, we know we need point guard help. We know we do. We ain't going to trade for nobody, though. We're going to sign Pat Bev from the buyout market. Is it safe to say that leading into this trade deadline, we going to be looking at the buyout market? Is it safe to say? That's what's been happening the last 2 years. That's what's been happening. I believe it's safe to say that the Chicago Bulls front office ain't going to do shit but look to the guys in the buyout market. Pick a direction. Figure it out. Enough of this. Enough of it. Yes, yes. What they said is that they want to be competitive. Your team is competitive. Cool. But is this all we going to be dealing with? Mediocrity, floating around the 9th and the 10th seed for the second year in a row? For competition. That's what we banking on. That's what you want your fans to be satisfied with, Chicago Bulls. Mediocrity. Mediocrity. That's what we've been settling for in Chicago. Look, I'm okay. Me personally, I am okay with departing ways with anybody in the core three. Whoever you, Vooch, DeMar, Zach, I'm cool with departing with any of them. What lets me know that you're on the right direction and you have gone strictly to developing this young talent and getting solid role players to play with them is if you move 2 of them. Move any 2 of them. Get 2 of them out of the way because we know they don't work. We know the big three doesn't work. It doesn't work. They look more better when one of them is off the court. It doesn't work. And then there's something that we always have to continue to think about. You got old guys, which is not always a problem, but when the game doesn't show up in a way to modernized offense, you get your teeth kicked in on most nights. You blow leads on most nights. You can't compete on most nights with other bigs, Nikola Vucevic, DeMar DeRozan, Every opposing team knows that when it's close and it's clutch and you got 5 minutes left in the game, you gonna be the guy. Versus passing it out, versus trying to get other guys involved, versus trusting Kobe White, versus trusting Ayo Dosunmu to hit clutch threes. You have done it, but where's the consistency to do it? I believe the Chicago Bulls haven't been over 500 in 2 seasons now, probably longer. This is what we're going to continue to settle for. So your plan to not do anything, is a huge slap in the face. And I say, fuck you in Chicago. That's how I'm looking at it. And it's not just for me. It's for everybody that sit here, log on, check out the pod, and give their thoughts on the Chicago Bulls team that they love to fucking death. And yet, the front office, this cheap-ass owner, don't do nothing. But we got a plan. We shall see. They got 7 days. I know y'all remember the damn movie. 7 days. Y'all remember the damn scary movie. 7 days. We shall see what happens. Because if I am the YouTube GM that I am, the great YouTube GM that I am, 2 of the 3 gotta go. 2 of them. And I don't understand what the Bulls trying to do. They think everybody supposed to bow down to them. You got guys that want to get out of here. Which is Zach LaVine. So you think somebody gonna be rushing to your lemonade stand trying to bat a whole pitcher? No. You got an expiring guy, DeMar DeRozan, who, yes, he's still productive, but he's on an expiring contract and he's over 30. You think you finna get something back? You think you finna get something super good for that? You done lost your rabbit-ass mind. Alex Caruso is probably the guy that can garner those 2 first-round picks for you. And we probably have been receiving calls, but the Bulls are so in over their heads, they can't get nothing done. Hence why Darnell Mayberry is reporting that teams don't believe that they will do anything substantial. You would not get a deal out of these guys. Like, what the hell? What is it? Figure it out. Seriously. It's fun to watch the Bulls with the young guys when they out here cooking and you seeing Kobe White doing in and out, back to back, going up to the basket and shooting long 3-pointers. It's fun. But it's get real depressing when DeMar DeRozan takes away from the pace of the game. DeMar DeRozan, in the few minutes, which he was pretty damn good in throughout his career, closing the game in the 4th quarter, but still made bonehead plays when teams blitz him in the last few minutes of the game. It's very frustrating watching Nikola Vucevic try to defend younger bigs. Can't keep up. Athleticism way over his head. It's frustrating. We need to figure it out. We can be frustrated with a bunch of young guys that do bonehead stuff, but at least they're going to play hard and Kobe White going to cook. Kobe White going to cook. Man, we got to love this organization, bro. We got to love this organization, bro. I ain't even going to lie to you. I could keep going on, but I'm not, y'all. I feel like that's enough. I feel like I just said enough, but it's just absolutely ridiculous that we can't get a fucking competent front office to do their jobs, to pick a direction, to stop pussyfooting around stuff. Figure it out. You want to be competitive. What is that competitiveness got us other than a play-in and 1 playoff win? It's not good enough. It's not good enough. If you tuned in today, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm Bobby. This is another episode of Shy Bulls Podcast. Thank y'all for tuning in. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. I got to cut myself off because I'll be going forever. I'm going to see y'all later, though. Peace. Cognac. Gang.